All right, good morning. Today is Thursday, the 2nd of June, and it is a beautiful sunny day here in Florida, but it's probably, I don't know, 10:30 in the morning, something like that, Thursday, 2 June. And I am getting ready to pack up and begin packing for a week-long trip with all the buds, right? So we're gonna do, this is kind of, I'll call this episode 1 of our kind of an epic guys trip that's going to go across the southeast United States and do some dirtbag riding and racing. So what I wanted to do this morning first was to kind of go through my trailer and then go through kind of the stuff that we're packing. I'm going to probably do a little time lapse here, loading everything up, and kind of show you before and a little bit after. The reason I'm doing that is one is because I got this trailer several weeks ago, a few months ago now, and I got it from a couple who were fantastic, and used trailer. It's a 2011 and it is in fantastic shape. It was in fantastic shape, it still is in fantastic shape, and I wanted to show that off and kind of show some of the renovations that I had done to it, and share that video with them. So what we have here is the Sunnybrook Harmony, or Harmony by Sunnybrook THX. Now this is a toy hauler, and so she's just about 25 feet, so 25-foot toy hauler, 2011, and I just lubed the wheel bearings this morning because we're getting ready to take a trip, so I did those. I've done a lot of work to this thing since I've got it. So one of the very first things I did here, not very first thing, but one of the things is it was chalky on the outside, and I went ahead and I watched some videos on YouTube and I polished it all up with some marine polish. Now, in the sunlight, when you can really look at it, it looks like a 2-year-old did it, because I am not that good with using a buffer, apparently. I learned that lesson. It looked great because I did it kind of in the afternoon and it looked shiny and polishy. It was, oh, it's fantastic. But then I drove it in the sun and I'm like, oh, this has got swirl marks all over it. But anyway, I don't really care. As long as it's protected, that's what matters. So I'm gonna kind of show you some of the things that I did on the inside of this, right? So this little extra step here was added by the previous owner, which I really like. Helps get up the ramp. So you go up the ramp in here and you can see one of the first things I did was I changed the floor. What's underneath of there is going to be your typical brown wood look linoleum, right? And all I did was lay this rubber kind of diamond plate style on top of it. Got it from Home Depot. It just snaps into place. It's a free floating floor, really easy to cut, really solid. And that trim piece was there on the other floor. I took it and put it on top of this. And of course, all the tie down hooks that you can see down there, I put those right back on the top and put them in. Even though I'm not using those tie down hooks, you'll see that these things, was what I'm really using, are called lock and loads. And you get those from Risk Racing. And I've got 4 of them in here. That allows 4 dirt bikes to be staggered in here, no problem. Easy peasy. You'll kind of see that later. So, just real quick, just to show you what it looks like with the lock and loads in there. So these things are fantastic. They lock right in, lock the pegs down, and then you can see that they are rock solid too. When you try to shake these things left and right, they barely move, right? They're locked in there. They're not going anywhere because it's using the suspension, which is compressed underneath those foot pegs. You sit on the bike, compress the suspension, then lock those in. And so there's 2 bikes, 1, 2 staggered. Tonight we'll put 3 and then 4 here in the end. And that still leaves us all this room around the outsides here to pack gear up. I'll put all the soft bags up front, but all the hard stuff will come back here. So some of the things I did to this were, one is I took the walls that were typical regular wallpaper walls, and I put this nice thin diamond plate aluminum on there. And I got that online. So I diamond plated the whole backside here. The whole cargo area is diamond plate. You can see that in around here, up and underneath. I added these tie down areas here, and I kind of keep my easy up there and some strap things to the wall. I've got one on this side and one on the other side. I also went ahead and had all this reupholstered. So these are the original blinds, but then I had these valances reupholstered. I had the seats reupholstered with some marine grade. Had it done at a upholstery shop where they do boats. Had all that redone. This was prior, it was more of a, I think it was cloth, maybe it was cloth, or a brown leather. Everything in here was brown, and that's what you typically find in the trailers. Now I added this so I'd carry some fluids and paper towels, need that all the time. I painted everything. So you can see that I did a kind of a grayish blue and then a dark blue on the doors, all those off. And I'm gonna show you this. This is the original wallpaper here. I haven't painted this yet. I'm probably gonna paint that black. Haven't done it yet, but so you can kind of, the whole thing was that tan color. So when you step back, you see, okay, floor checker, black and white, did the painting of the cabinets, everything there, got some metal on here. This is magnetized for some gloves. Nothing done with the ceiling, it's really good. Came in here to the little kitchen area, did the cabinets. Everything's gray and painted. Again, the valances, but then I also put on this backsplash. There was no backsplash here before. This is that stick-on stuff you get from Home Depot. It works really, really well. And the kitchen is the same, didn't change anything. All the hardware is the same. I just painted the cabinet doors. And you come across here and you've got your cabinetry and you've got, you know, the whole closet full. Got a nice fridge, works really well. I got all my riding gear in here. Keep my riding gear in there. And then you got the bathroom. Oops, so there's a bathroom. So went ahead and just painted all the bathroom up. Everything's clean. Everything's there, it's good to go. And then we added this wallpaper. Really easy stick-on wallpapers, kind of up and down the hills. My wife liked that kind of pattern, thought that was cool. So I kind of put that across here and then down here on the bottom. Again, up reupholstered valances, all that. I had this redone. This was a brown curtain. I just got some material from Michael's and had the same guy do the upholstery to stitch that up. I've got my quilt on here from all the races. When I won my championship season, I had a quilt from every one of the races that I had raced in. And that is the whole bedroom area, which is really comfy and nice. So, and then there's the doorway. Good, fire extinguisher down there. So there's the renovation. The renovation really was paint, the metal on the back, the rear upholstery, and it radically changed the way the whole thing looks. I love it. It's fantastic. The previous owners really took care of it, which is something I appreciate. You know, for other of us in our 50s, you know, we grew up, you know, you pay a lot of money for things. If you probably in 2011, this thing probably ran, I don't know, $15,000. That's a lot of money. Take care of it. So here we are in 2022, you know, 10 years, 11 years later, and it was brand new, essentially. So thank you to that guy for doing that. I'm going to continue to take care of it, obviously. So in 10 years, it's still going to look brand new. Because that's what you do if you're a smart man, or a smart person anyway. You take care of your stuff. All right, so there's a quick tour of the trailer that's going to go in there. Now, I weighed it last weekend with 2 bikes in it and all this gear that you're going to see here, and it came in at about 6,300 pounds. So that means I have 700 pounds to play with to max this thing out. And we got 2 more bikes coming tonight for a total of 4 plus their gear. Gonna be close, but we're gonna probably hit a weigh station on our trip up, and then we'll figure out from there what we do, if we have to cross level some stuff to the truck or not. So what else am I taking? All right, so Chris just came by and he dropped off his stuff, so let's see what goes in this thing. We're gonna do the 24-hour race, and we're gonna do some riding up in the hills at Highland Park as well as West Virginia, and then we're gonna do Cherokee. So we're bringing all this stuff with us. Easy up and table, we'll have some water, we got some chairs, we got some generators. We got a tire changing kit, which is the Rabaconda, a couple of fire extinguishers because we're smart people, gear bags, extra rim for some hard enduro type riding, miscellaneous parts and pieces, a nice tool kit including miscellaneous parts and pieces, some standard dirt bike tools, and then we got the bikes. And then so this is my race bike here. This is a 2020 KTM 300, right? There's that one. And then this is another 2020 KTM 300, which is Chris's bike. So they look radically different, but they're both the same exact bikes. Now, you'll notice we have outfitted some lights on these things. So he's got the light bars on his, because we will be doing the 24-hour race, at which time we'll be riding at night. I ended up putting these 2 little Tusk jobbers on here. I think they're Tusk or Thumper jockey jobbers. So we'll see how that goes. But we're also running helmet lights. So helmet lights as well as the bike lights. Let's see. He's got his mounted here. Take a look at some of that. And you'll see some of this more when I do a video about the race. This is just prep. So consider this episode 1 of at least 5, because you figure I'll break down the 24-hour trip, 24-hour race, then Highland Park, then West Virginia, Hatfield, McCoy, and then the Cherokee Enduro. So that's all going to be part of the series coming up. Going to load the trailer up today, get everything set. Frank, Chris, Cody, all coming over tonight. Howie and his boys coming over. I got a brisket on the smoker for the next 12 hours. Probably see those guys about 9 o'clock. We'll cut the brisket. And there, fast motion loaded that stuff up. You can see Team Enduro, the Young and the rest of us. That's our team name. So I'm gonna back this rig up, put it up top, and unhook and get ready for those guys to show up tonight, and then we'll finish loading it up, and in the morning we'll be off. All right.